Friendslop. You've seen it. You've heard of it. You've probably used it before. It's the word that people pretty much throw at any small co-op horror game right now. 4 players. It's kind of scary, but it looks cheap. It's Friendslop. And here's the thing. Sometimes it is the right call. Some of these games are exactly that. So I'm not here to tell you that the word is necessarily wrong, but I am here to tell you what we've done to it. And it's making people feel stupid for even liking these games. To explain how we got here, I will of course talk about the game that I first realized kind of started this. Because there's a game later in this video that I pretty much damn near skipped because it looked like Friendslop. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really innocent of this either. But first we have to talk about the game that did everything right and birthed the term in the process. Lethal Company! Look! I'm talking about Lethal Company. You've never seen anybody talk about Lethal Company, right? This game is technically patient zero. It was not a bad game at all. It was actually quite the opposite. This is the game that was so good at what it did that it created an entire subgenre that made this word. So, I mean, by now, you've all heard of Lethal Company. I mean, it sold 10 million copies within the first year, which, I mean, that in itself is an absolutely crazy number. It quite literally did hand create this whole subgenre that I'm about to talk about. That being said, I won't bore you too much of the details of the game that we've all heard of. If you don't know Lethal Company, it's pretty simple. The whole thing runs on one idea, which is the quota. You owe the company scrap, and as time goes on, you're forced into harder and harder decisions to try and meet it. The game pretty much puts you and your friends inside a pressure cooker and says good luck until you lose, because it is inevitable, which this game did a really good job at. I mean, the panic in Lethal Company is not scripted. It's the however many of you and your friends are in the lobby screaming at each other while something is down the hall, but you can't really make it out, but you can hear the fucker. The game just pretty much lights the fuse for you. It's playable. It's got life. I mean, there's a reason that the game was such a big success. It just works on its own. So, of course, here's the cruel part of it. When something's that good and that cheap to copy, everybody copies it. Suddenly, there's a million games with a flashlight, a monster, and then it says it's co-op. And, I mean, frankly, a lot of these games are just not good. They saw what blew up and tried to copy the format. People needed a word for this absolute massive wave of garbage. And for the copies, not all of them, but for a lot of them, it's a fair term. But people are tired of Lethal Company now. It's just that the copies just kept coming and coming and coming. And slowly, as each game released, the Lethal Company shine just kind of wore away. So now when you think back about when you're playing it with your friends, you know, it's really muddied by all of the other crap that's out there. I mean, it literally did just get stoned to death. And we don't like your kind anymore. We don't want you here. Treated like the fucking plague, dude. Friendslop is real. Let's get that right. It is a very real thing, but I actually want to define it. Because a game that's made for friends to play is a little too vague for me to call something Friendslop. And I want a real definition. And I think that there's some criteria that has to be met. So here's mine. It's 2 parts. Part 1, the game has to be playable. Like, actually playable. It shouldn't be so broken that there's chances that the game will literally not let you progress because something shatters. But 2, it needs a reason to exist. It needs some life behind it. It can be a small or a short game. It can be a little busted or broken, but it can't be soulless. And Friendslop pretty much fails one of those 2 things, usually being the latter. Now, before I act like everybody who dismisses these games are just an idiot outright, let me step into that realm a little bit and talk about it, because they do have points. My biggest one is that they usually ask for money. And every dollar to me just kind of raises the bar for these. The dollar says, expect me to be that much more fun. So when somebody's going 10 bucks for this, I totally get it. I do. And I've been that guy. I've skipped games for $10 that I didn't feel like spending. But there's really a problem with it because it starts to become a habit and we just start making assumptions. Bite-sized games don't necessarily mean that it's a bad game. It's just that the promise of it is different. These games are pretty much built small on purpose. And it's the reason that you can buy 6 of these games for the price of 1 full game. I mean, shit, we could really argue 7 or 8. Or even 10 of them if you really wanted to talk about all the DLC and the extra versions. Buy this version of the game because it's the color yellow instead of green. But trying to utilize the $100 games to make a point about the smaller games is not the way to do it. Well, this game is so much better designed. The graphics are better, it runs smoother, and like, Yeah, I mean, no shit. That was never really the deal with these Friendslop games. The bar isn't, is it as polished or does it have as many hours as this single player game? I mean, the bar for these games are just pretty much, did it provide a unique experience that's fun for me and my friends? And so after saying that, I will of course bless you with one of these games. I'm embarrassed to say it, I don't want to say it. Last Pirates die together. I was the guy that brought everybody to this game. I was the one that said, hey, let's try this and see what comes of it. I mean, you can read the reviews as best as possible, but most of the time it's just dragging 4 or 6, 8 people into a room and saying, please, dear God, be good. It's like dragging the sharks from Shark Tank and going, give it 10 minutes. I swear, trust me, bro. And so when it flops, I, of course, get absolutely flamed for it. The second that you're in it, it just immediately kind of feels like the game hates you as the player. The movement's like absurdly stiff. You've got these noodle arms that you use to grab things. And like the gimmick mechanic in this game is that when you die, you put your top half of your character on just a random pair of ass cheeks you can find lying on the ground. And look, I mean, that's funny. To some audience out there, that's funny. I mean, the map is just empty. It's small, stiff. I guess the best way I could put it is that it feels like the props that are around you are bolted to the ground and everything's fake. I mean, the monsters in this game are just existing. Monsters lag, they get stuck. But the moment that pretty much tells me everything with these Friendslop games is when everything goes quiet. There's this stretch where you and your friends just don't say anything at all. 4 to however many people with open microphones all being completely silent because nobody wants to be the one that says, what the fuck are we playing? Let's go next. That's what I say. This is broken.
Yeah. What does next mean?
So we spend 20 or 30 minutes just sitting there kind of quietly. There's really nothing to laugh at because it doesn't give you anything to laugh at. Ah, dude, I'm just remembering how bad this game was, which I probably should interject. I mean, this game was a demo when we did play it, so I can't dog on it too much because I'm sure that it's gotten updates and it's probably gotten better. So when somebody calls this Friendslop, I mean, I get it, but that's not necessarily the case with every game that you come across. If the word is real, then is real. Oh God, don't bomb me. Then what's Cynic's problem? To which I reply, my problem is what happened next. The word got really good at its job, and it did a little too well. It went from a thing that you say about a game after you got done playing it to a thing that you say to justify not playing the game at all. A co-op horror game with 4 players? That's Friendslop. I'm so tired of these Friendslop games. The more that comes out that's ass, the higher the bar is for these games that actually do a very good job at what they do. Every cash grab game pretty much knocks the entire genre down a notch. So the games that actually tried and gave it an effort and didn't just try to take your money are pretty much guilty until proven innocent. And I think what really sucks is that the normal audience, the people that actually do enjoy these games, picked up the word secondhand, which ironically means that they're using it wrong. Not because they're trying to take down the game, but because they keep hearing this word from people that are just really bitter about the genre, and then it ends up on a freaking Steam review. I'm pretty much about to apply what I've been talking about right here, because this was a review that was made for the game called The Headliners, and the first sentence is the exact kind of thing that made my head kind of, I don't know, implode. It says, and I quote, "A fantastic Friendslop game to play with friends." And it's crazy to me because if you read the rest of the review without that first sentence in there, it's just a positive review. I mean, the guy's not like, I love The Headliners, this is my favorite game of all time. He felt compelled enough to actually go on Steam and then type about the game and talk about it. So when he calls it Friendslop, even though he liked the game, he's signaling to everybody else, this is just another cash grab game, but I kind of like this one. Sorry, I know you don't sound like that, but that was the voice that I had in my mind. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. I'm a fantastic Friendslop game. But I mean, this game is without its Lethal Company influence. You have to go out and take pictures, they're scored, you have to get a certain score before the next round. The way that you got the points through the camera was basically depending on what was in the photo and also what was happening in the photo. And it absolutely incentivized me to watch my friends get their shit rocked by a random alien out of nowhere. Yeah, just let them. Oh, there you go. and then set up for the perfect opportunity to take the fucking picture of it. I see an alien and I go hide in the corner waiting for my friend to come in, like, please fucking obliterate them. But these copies don't really have that. They don't unionize your friends and make you guys want to play together or run these certain scenarios and continue to do that. But that's the charm of this genre, you know. It's co-op horror, and horror is usually a game where you're scared of it, but in most co-op horror games, it's about you and your friends running into it. And a lot of the times, like for me personally, I look forward to watching my friends die and to watch me get chased and have my friends laugh at me. It's just a good time. Although I do have to talk about the chopper in this game. This thing that flies you in at the beginning of the round, you go in, take pictures, and then you have to come back outside. As soon as you leave, there's like 7 to 8 times more shit going on outside than there was when you first went in. And I so look forward to it because it is just hectic the entire time. I mean, you've got these aliens that are completely disproportionate to what's going on. And you've got these AI that you're over here watching fight them or die to them. A lot of the times it's like running through no man's land. But this is an example of the game that has the life behind it. So it gives you the game, and then you and your friends make the experience within it. And the part that sucks is that people end up writing games off immediately. Games like the headliners. A word that was used to describe these bad games ended up becoming this weird junk pile for all of the games that are actually good, and they got skipped over because of it. Anyway, I mean, you get the point that I'm trying to make. I've said it 7 different times going off script, like I probably shouldn't, but I do anyway. I do need to tell you about one more game. Just one, I promise. It'll be over soon. Because this game is actually the whole reason that I ended up making this video. I saw it on Steam probably about a month ago, and I just remember telling myself, man, that looks really fun. And before the game was even released, I saw somebody call it Friendslop, and they weren't going to play it because it's just another game. And I think that that's part of what bothers me, is that people act like they don't want to be caught playing these games. It's taboo. It's like there's a social cost to actually just opening it up. But that's the thing that I can't let go of. I mean, this game was fire. Night's End is pretty much a medieval co-op horror game where you play as dishonored knights and you have to do the bidding of villagers that treat you like absolute shit to try and get your honor back. And I mean, that's pretty much already immediately up my alley. I'm a masochist. I just love getting bullied. I grew up going to a lot of Renaissance fairs, so any opportunity I get to talk like this, thou wilt take. The setting pretty much immediately tells you what you and your friends are going into, and I became Sir Cynic. Bold, handsome, rich, most importantly, fearless. The inn, the butcher...
What is that?
Fight it together, guys! Fight it together! As the days go by, the tasks start stacking. One errand becomes 2, which becomes 3, and pathways start closing off, and then suddenly the longer that you survive, the more obscene the monsters get. This game wasn't just funny because I watched somebody die, it was because I cared. I mean, we were building up our confidence, you know, like a plan of action. How do we complete the task just for the game to rip my friend's head off? And he's dead. It's just that kind of brutality that reminds you you're not the knight that you thought you were. And that's the thing, though, is that the game had a lot of lore behind it and a lot of thought. It was thought out. You could tell that the developers cared about their game. And this is the kind of thing that people don't see on the Steam page. But it's about what the game had to offer and what we made of it. I mean, these games are just asking for a different audience. These games don't have to be massive, and they don't have to have a fucking battle pass. Although I'm sure some of them have tried to get away with it. These aren't the kinds of games that you just pick up and play for 6 to 12 months straight and make it your whole personality. These games are literally just about experiences with your friends, and you know, however long that lasts, great. As long as you feel like it was worth it. And that's pretty much what Night's End did for me. I really resonated with this game. And it sucks because, I mean, it is so underrated. It is crazy. Crazy how underrated this game is. Why are we here? Because it's not everybody that uses the word. You have the guy that's like disinterested in the game to begin with, so he immediately drops the word to discredit it. You get the people that are getting the word confused because that's just kind of where we are socially. And I feel like it's pretty much just human nature that when somebody doesn't like something, they attack it to some degree. especially online. But then you miss out on all of the internal experience, and of course you're not going to enjoy these games when you hardly ever give any of them a try. Shit, Steam has a 2-hour playtime refund policy for a reason. You have no idea how many times I've downloaded a game, played it, it was broken, and I just fucking refunded it. This isn't really about whether these games are really good or not. It's about the fact that we took a genre that's literally meant for having a good time with your friends, and then we made people embarrassed to want that. The word is totally fine. Use Friendslop where it's meant to be used, but just play the game first, you know? I mean, you might be burying a game like Night's End, where I had a legitimate blast, just because we want to avoid saying, oh, well, it wasn't really my thing, and move on to the next. It's the same thing that I talked about in my last cozy horror video. It really turns out that the name isn't the problem, it's us. Anyways, Night's End, go play it. Tell me I'm wrong. You won't. Don't tell me I'm wrong, please, because it is such a good game. I had so much fun, and holy fucking shit.